Start with
2 cups of all-purpose flour. I don't waste any time sifting it. A little salt. Half a cup of salad oil. And I'm using canola oil. I've heard somewhere that it's supposed to be good for you. And then add 5 tablespoons of milk. Don't want to mix the milk and the oil together. It does make sense to mix the salt in with the flour a little bit before you add the oil and milk mixture. And just add the oil and milk all at once. And mix it all together. Not vigorously, just gently. And then you can scrape it together with your hand, and it should make a ball. And that'll be your pie crust. To get the crust into a pie pan, start with a piece of wax paper. Take the ball of pie dust or crust dough you just made and roughly split it in half. Make a ball out of the half of the dough that you've torn off. Set it in the middle of the wax paper and gently push down on it to start it flattening. If it cracks, I like to pinch the cracks together and press a little more. And take a second piece of waxed paper, put it on top of the dough, and go at it with a rolling pin. I don't put a lot of pressure on, just gently roll it out. You're trying to get a circle, and typical wax paper is just wide enough. If you roll to the edges, you'll be able to fill your pie plate perfectly. When you have it rolled close to what you think might be appropriate, just take your pie pan or pie plate or whatever and set it down really close. I think I'm going to go just a smidge farther this way. Then peel off the top layer, take the paper and dough by the corners, flip it over onto the plate, and adjust it till I can feel that the dough's sticking out evenly around the tops of the pie plate. And then I start to gently, very gently, peel the paper away from the dough. It really is that easy. I don't know why people seem to be impressed when you show up to dinner with a pie, a homemade pie, because making dough, I mean, this dough, despite the oil and milk approach, instead of cutting and shortening and working it all together like a fine pastry, this dough is going to be just as flaky and light as any other pastry dough. And then I take a kitchen knife and just angle it in, hold the dough down on the edge of the plate, the pie plate, and turn it around as I slice off the dough. And I'd rather have it stick out a little too far than cut it off too close. The pie plate is completely covered with a thin layer of pie crust dough. The stuff I just cut off goes back in the bowl with the other half of the ball of dough. I'm going to use that to line a second pie plate.